need some Led Zeppelin music, man. I'm feeling Led Zeppy.
Yeah. Which song in particular?
Something like what's the name of that funky song they do? Misty Mountain.
Misty Mountain.
Woo, dog! I have smoked some dope on Misty Mountain. It is unbelievable, that song.
I don't know if I've
I
ever
love
heard that.
Led Zeppelin. I think it's the greatest band ever in the history of mankind. And
There you go.
there's only one person I would ever go out of my way to ask for a autograph, and it's Jimmy Page. The only person I would ever like succumb to go, please give me one. Dude, I think the guy's a fucking genius. It's unbelievable. The amount of music
legend.
one human being wrote, like he wrote all their music, man. He was spectacular. Anyway, he's one of my great heroes. A big shout out to Jimmy fucking Page. I love that guy. No, really, man. Really. If you don't like Jimmy, there's something wrong with you. If you have not listened to a great Jimmy Page song in a while, download it from Spotify. Spotify gives me absolutely zero in my referral program. But listen to some Jimmy Page. How you doing, Sam?
Good. Had a great weekend.
You look all rested, dude. You might have gotten laid this weekend, it looks like to me.
Well, we did have. I had a wedding that I had to go to.
Weddings
so that
are
was
the
a lot of
best.
fun. Weddings are awesome, and it was like a bunch
Did you
of
meet
Bitcoin
a girl?
people.
You met a girl, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I took a girl there on a date. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a good wedding. There were a lot of Bitcoin people there, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, just enjoying the awesome, nice weather for once that we've had too. It's not moisture at 1,000%. It's not super humid. It's finally a little drier, a little bit cooler. So it always puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, well, I'm in a pretty good mood. I've got
your Wolf investment, right?
Oh, well, Wolf. I wasn't going to bring Wolf up to the very end, but silver, bro. Look, I mean, silver's just like, let's go take a look at silver if I can find out how to let me share this screen here. I was watching a couple of videos. There it is. Is that the right one? I always worry about sharing my personal data.
This is silver.
Yeah, this is silver, man. You remember I said let's wait till 33?
Yep.
So we got 30. We got 33. Let's see how I do this. Yeah, there you go. I didn't mean to do it that way. I got 33 and change. It breached 34 this morning. Man, I mean, I was on a call with, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 people earlier on finance, macro finance. I think something's going on here. I think there's I would bet someone is negotiating to put silver into some type of a basket of commodities so that they can get some exposure to something non-USD. I could be wrong there, but
can you walk me through that? What you're thinking more specifically?
Well, I mean, let's say the Brexit. Let's say that you create another exchange. The reason for creating an exchange would be, hey, I want to get into other assets, not just one that's controlled by some crazy lady and the Fed. So they will look at that and go, well, gosh, I'll put a basket of crude oil. I'll put a basket of silver and gold and maybe some US dollars and some Romani and we'll have a basket, and that will help us with our exposure to all these different assets instead of being totally exposed to US dollars and having no control. Not that they're going to have control over silver, but it's a broader market. Silver's definitely doing something. Gold's at all-time high. Silver's all-time high is over $50. And we're not even close here. Okay, we're 34. Gold's at all-time high, 27 and 2,700. And yet we have silver, which I think the silver ratio right now, silver to gold, if you take 2,700 and you divide 34 into that, it's somewhere around 80 something. Okay, that is that multiplier has been there for a long time, above 70, but it is not. That is not standard. Normally, like over 4,000 years, it's been as low as 1 to 1. I think in the Mesopotamian era, it was 2 to 1. But for many years, it was about 15 to 1. So if silver was at, call it 10, then gold would be at, 10 to 1 to that. And now we're at 76 or 80. I didn't do the math, but whatever, 2750 divided
It's
by
79.
yeah, that's a monster. Okay. That means for every ounce of gold, there's 79 ounces of silver traded. And you're like, wow, that is a historical spread. It's been higher. So my bet is, and people asked, hey, why did you sell the gold and why did you sell gold before you sold the silver? I think silver is going to outperform here because it's underperformed relative to history. It has some applications. There's some AI applications for silver as an industrial use. But look, it's not a massive position for me. It is sitting at the silver store, and I call them up whenever I want and sell it. I'll take probably $1.50 discount to the market. Right now, that would be $33.69. I'd get $32.19 from it on 27,000 ounces. So, whatever that is, 700, 800 grand. I would then convert it into digital. I just haven't done it yet because I think I'm going to get a little run out of it. If I could get another 10% move out of this, I'd probably dump it 36. Look, I could easily dump this afternoon. I do not want to be in silver for the next 3 years. Okay. I want to be in Bitcoin. And then while we're looking at that, let's just go look at Wolf because, when you see a move like this, now remember, I got silver. I bought silver. Well, I don't want to say what I bought it at, but a long time ago, relatively cheaply. Now, if you see this chart, you see this right here?
Yeah.
Now, this is Wolf, man. Okay, it's moved 18% in one day. Now, that tells me this company is in play. Someone's going to buy this company because if you look at the rest of the complex, Bitcoin's down. All the alts are down. Every miner is down. TeraWolf's up 18% this morning. So when you look at this move, you're like, oh, dude, why was I in silver? This thing has literally gone from October the 9th. Okay, this is where my little cursor is on this red dot. That's October the 9th. That is literally what is that, 11, 12 days ago. Okay, we're up from 382 to 610. That's nearly 100% increase in 20 days. Now, I've never been through one of these cycles with the miners. Like this is, dude, that's a move, bro. I mean, it's moved from $5.10 to $6.07 in a day. $1 on a $5 underlying commodity or price it's a big move, man. It's market's been open 3 hours, so something's going on here. So this would because I think what we're going to see, Sam, is we'll see first off, somebody's trying to buy this company, I would bet. 2, whoever's buying it's probably going to get a lift from it. I think TeraWolf has about, is it 10 or 20? I was making some notes earlier. I think they're small. Their average cost is around $35,000. And so they're very competitive, but they're not big, right? They're about 10 exahash, I think, which most of the industry is assuming that if you don't have at least 8 exahash, and that will change, that will continue to go up, it's going to be really hard to scale or be significant player. So there'll be some micro players and then there'll be some larger players. That's a nice move, right? And I have decent position in this. The interesting thing is the guy that's going to win the most from being in the minors. Let me go back to that chart. I was talking to Mike Alford about this some time ago. He's been in it forever, right? He got into these it way down here. Maybe that's 23. No, he's been in them for 2-ish years. I don't want to speak for him, but 54 cents, man. Okay, you got people in this since March 23. It's now literally a year and 5 months, and they're up from 54 cents to $6. If other miners, my point here is that I could have held this from 54 cents, but I didn't, and I'm not ashamed of it. But I could also held it right here from $2. To me, the guy holding this at $2 when this whole market started turning, he's actually getting a better risk-adjusted and time-adjusted trade than the guy that bought it at 54. It's just the way I look at it, right? Would I have been better off?
Because the market's more mature, or why is that?
No, I think the market. Well, look, my time here is less than a year now. See, I have made October. I've made. I've gone from $2 to $6. I've tripled my money. That's a good trade for me, man. I don't need to 10x it and go back another year and a half. Because I just didn't know back then, right? I didn't know what I know today. It's a very different knowledge point back here in November of 23 when everything was just no liquidity. This should teach you, Sam, that, oh, wow, there are better times to invest. I don't want to wait 3 and 4 years. Like I was early on Bitcoin, dude. I could have easily bought all the Bitcoin I have today in a very shorter compressed period of time. Now, assuming that I would have had all that cash. The beauty behind having this long period of going up and going down, the volatility that everyone gets scared of, I actually think people are misunderstanding this. It is actually the gift, the volatility, because I didn't have $30 million sitting here on Friday, the 10th of November. Okay. I could now accumulate 30 million over 2 years, right? Or whatever that investment strategy was going to be. So it allows me to keep dipping my toe in the water, albeit at higher and higher prices. As you can see, the bottom here was 132. 6 months goes by, the bottom's 169. We go along another 6 months, the bottom is 199, right? Nice, steady movements. And then we have an explosive move. So, would it have been awesome to get in May of 24? Of course. Unfortunately, my middle name isn't I pick the bottoms and I pick the tops. And it drives me freaking crazy when I get on these damn shows and everyone, well, not everyone, but the vast majority of swingers, and I use that term loosely, they want to tell me that they bought the bottom and they sold the tops and that they knew it. And it just irritates me to no end. I'm going to just sit here. Okay. I'm not as smart as everybody else. I'm a Dumbo. Also living in the biggest house of anybody I know and travel better than anybody I know. But I'm the idiot in the room. I can't pick the bottoms, guys. And I cannot pick the tops. And I'm scared usually every time I hit the button, whether it's sell or buy. Okay. So this thing, when you hear people and they're so confident and they knew, and first off, I don't believe anybody that's never lost money. Never. Like if you haven't lost money, you're not going to do business with me because I want to know how you're behaving when stress hits the fan. Like when you're not right. But don't, I'm just talking to the guys out there that get frustrated with people that are always right. Don't buy into that. Okay. You're no more right or less right than they are. They're just sharing their wins. They're not sharing the losses. I personally would prefer to share the losses. I learned so much more from my losses. They're much more valuable to you Because if I can teach you how not to lose, what are you left with? Wow, that's clever. And the problem with trading and investing, it is extremely ego fueled, right? Your ego literally wants to make decisions. And I've gotten to the point where if Sam has insight and he can help me, bro, I really don't care. It does not have to be my idea. And I don't have to be right. I have to mitigate and manage my mistakes. My hubris is the one that I have to be most concerned with. My hubris, I have to be most concerned with getting greedy. For instance, right? Last night I spent 2 hours writing down every investment I had and going, hey, what's my exit? What am I doing here? Okay. Now I have made a shitload of money here. I mean, for most people, it's life altering money. And I do not believe that I do not believe I've taken a massive amount of time. This will be the most amount of money in the next 10 years. I will make the most amount of money in 10 years than I've ever made in my entire fucking life. And I've been working since I was 21, literally never taken any time off. I mean, I've probably had less holidays than most people. And that's just because I'm just not a big holiday guy. I get bored. Well, most certainly I get bored of going on a tourist holiday. But I'm writing all this down going, okay, like, what am I going to do with Bitcoin at X? What am I going to do with my miners at Y? When do I get out of my miners? I now have a sizable position in miners, man. My miner position is over 5% of my crypto position. And Solana is a chunky position, about 5%. And those are the two big positions. Then there's Bitcoin. I have 11 Ethereum. And the only reason I still have Ethereum is because I only have 11. I'm like, well, fuck it. You know, it could go. It probably will go. I mean, it does have adoption, right? It has critical mass. It's met some critical mass. I don't think they go broke, but I just don't. I mean, I would not buy Ethereum here versus buying Bitcoin. I would buy Bitcoin for sure. So, and I think this is good for everyone to do, is to sit down with your portfolio. This market's moving now, okay? Most certainly this market is going to do things that are going to make you question what you do and don't know. Aiden, you didn't know I had that much? But I think it's like everybody should really sit down and maybe even sit down with someone that, you know, can be a neutral, doesn't have an agenda, and helps you with the portfolio, planning that out. Some of our friends that do short-term trading talk a lot about, hey, manage your exit. And there's not enough discussion on managing the exit. It's really hard to do, especially if you're greedy and you take risk. And that's why I say, hey, just, you know, it's really, really, really good to do the planning. And I will tell you, I haven't made a decision on that. Like, I was there 2 hours because I couldn't make a decision on what is the strategy. But what it did do is it made me start thinking about, hey, I need to call this banker about this. I need to do this over here. I mean, and then I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. I bet I got 4 or 5 hours of sleep just because if I start writing and doing some planning, you know, you guys are sitting on, let's say you're sitting on $50,000, and if it goes to $200,000, which depending on where you're at in your time period, and also it depends on, is it in an IRA or is it in your normal operating account where you pay taxes? Are you trading short-term less than a year or longer than a year? And by the way, you have to pay taxes, okay? If you're not calculating taxes into this, you're such a fool, okay? Like, you're not, I don't know who told you that it was Bitcoin's tax-free. Whoever told you that lied, or they were really, really, really confused. And I'm in this industry, right? they already know that you've lied to them. Everybody that's got a wallet, they know who you are, dude. Okay. They know just as much as you about you. In fact, they may know more about you than they know about me, because I don't transact that much in the wallets. I'm not saying I don't but I don't transact like $80 million a day. I mean, I just don't do that. But Chainalysis and a couple of others, man, they've done the study. Okay, they know what's where. And I think Daniel Keller says, Crypto Extra Large says it's tax free in Dubai. Excellent point. You cannot possibly listen to someone that's in South Africa or Dubai talking about buying XRP at 54 to sell it at 60. Okay, for a day trade. They don't pay taxes, bro. You're in America. Okay, that 6-cent trade for you is going to cost you 3 cents. Your margin's gone. So be careful of who you listen to. If you pay taxes, you have to listen to people that pay taxes. Now, it's cool to listen to the people that don't pay taxes. That will help you understand what the hell is going on in the market. Okay, this is why if you're in certain of these industries, people go, why are you talking about mining? Well, I want to know the economics on mining, dude. It'd be like going in the oil business and, oh gosh, I don't know how much it takes to build a barrel of oil. I had an argument with a guy today on a 2-hour session. He's like, China's going to eat up all the oil. I'm like, no, China's not going to eat up all the oil. They're eating up all the coal. They're building 50 coal-fired power stations a year, man. 1,000 megawatt plants. Okay, they will. They're going to buy crude oil because they have to. Okay, crude oil is not going to like make Bitcoin. Crude oil is not going to build a coal-fired, going to build a power station either. So natural gas is going to build a power station. The coal will build a power station, but oil is not going to do that. So I don't see the whole play on oil. I think oil gets crushed. Long term, I just don't see oil going up forever and ever. This is a weird market, dude. You got every currency on the planet failing. Bitcoin today is the 6th largest currency on planet Earth. This stat is never shared anywhere. Whoa, dude. I'm number 6 in the world and nobody's talking about me being number 6. It's unbelievable. Okay. A year and a half ago, that wasn't the case. It was number 12 or 15. So you have to your point, oil's gold's moved up to $18 trillion in size, and Bitcoin's worth 1.3 trillion today.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
What
and you have a scenario that's perfect, but for Bitcoin. Okay. This I'm so like one of the things I was going to call the banker about today, and I don't share this for anyone to follow this path, but my question is going to be, hey, how much I need to leverage a little bit more of my account. See, they don't see all the Bitcoin I have. This is the problem, right? This is why I'm very close to actually I'm having some real discussion about just moving the whole bank, the whole account, man. Move the whole thing to a crypto player. Like I wish we could get our act together quicker, because I would literally move away from legacy and move into digital. I think the digital bank is going to be the safest bank in the world. Like it's such a contrary move because we've had all these issues, but I'm looking at it going, no, the bad bank's going to be the bank with so much legacy exposure, right? But what about a small bank that's just crypto centric? Okay, we understand the swings of that asset class, but we're not worried about the asset class getting rugged. Like cool, okay, we're gonna have some volatility. That's going to give me another buying opportunity down the road. But I can't make sense of any of these stocks, dude. Like I could build the case that ExxonMobil's worth 3-4 times what it's valued at today because it drives everything into every economy we have. Yet they're being treated as if they're the pariahs of the world. Now they may be being treated like, hey, finding crude oil and natural gas is no longer difficult. It's a science. It's about technology. Prices are going to go down. And the truth is, if ExxonMobil can find crude oil at $40 to $45 in a $65 market, that's a great margin, man. In a $72 market, that is a great margin. And this whole thesis about, hey, AI and Bitcoin is going to drive up so much demand for power, that may very well be the case. But if the Chinese continue to put 1,000 megawatt plants together every week of coal, that's one more unit of oil they did not need to buy. They will figure out LNG. Russia is putting together an LNG facilities right now. They're going to try and replicate what America's done. And they are long and very long fossil fuel. Nat gas, for sure, and oil, and they're finding their way to the market. Like in a competitive marketplace, oil doesn't go up. Remember, we had to have OPEC. I really should hold a thing on energy. Actually, we should do a thing on energy and get a couple of guys. Let's talk about the macro picture of oil. Could do 2 hours, dude. Nat gas, the flows, the movements, who's doing what. I mean, the top 10 oil companies in the era that I grew up in, they don't even make the top 10 list today, dude. The top 10 oil companies in the world are not companies. They're sovereigns. The game's changed completely. If you look at the energy complex, you're like, whoa, there's not independent companies. These are countries now. Could that possibly be an indicator of where we're headed? I think so. I think that's exactly where we're headed. Most certainly, the countries we're competing with, Iran, Iraq, Russia, all three extremely long energy and resource. All our allies are short. Europe doesn't have any. The UK has the highest power prices in the free world. First world nation, dude. They're paying more than anyone in the free world for electricity. Talk about a banana republic. Okay, like they're going to change the pensioners program because they don't have enough power, man. Now, if that's happening in the UK, what do you think's happening in Germany? Germany's broke, and they're just not talking about it. If the UK and Germany are broke and they don't have any resources and they're paying more for energy than anyone else, what happens to Europe? Because they don't have any credit to buy shit. And they cannot create their own money because they agreed 18 years ago, 20 years ago, with 4 people that you cannot even name me. In fact, no one in Europe can name the 4 people in Brussels that run the EU. 10 grand. Don't check Google. I'll pay you 10 grand, dude, if you can tell me the 4 people that run Europe. I don't know who they are either. Nobody knows, okay? Nobody voted on them, just like Kamala, dude. No, I'm not laughing, dude. She got put in. Nobody voted on her for her.
Nope.
So we have 4 cats in Europe that are running the show. We don't even know. That's bad enough. We don't even know them, but also we didn't vote for them. Oh, another thing. Notice the chaos. Italy and 16 other countries have said, fuck immigration. We're not letting this happen anymore. So they're going on Italy. I like that chick, dude. Okay. That prime minister, the woman, hey, you can't come into this country anymore. We're going to get rid of you. Look, there's 2 ways this problem gets solved. All these immigrants either run over all the population in 2 continents and take control, or we draconianly stop what's going on and reverse the flow and push them back out. There is no middle ground here. You guys can sit here and go, hey, kind of maybe sort of what we'll just let a few 20 million people in. 20 million people with 1% of them being psychopaths is 200,000 people. Yeah, 200,000 people. 200,000 people over 50 states is about 4,000 people each psychopaths. Cut the number in half, cut the number down by a tenth. It's still 400 psychopaths in every state. Jesus Christ, man.
It's a lot.
Okay, it's too much, dude. Like you can't even arrest them all. And they centralize. Like when the Italians and the Sicilians all came together back in the 1900s, what? You think we all diversified equally across the United States? Oh, there's 8 million of us and we're going to all pick a state divided by 8 million? No. What they do is they go, hey, we like Louisiana. Hey, we like New York. We like Chicago, right? And they clubbed up, tribed up, and then they started organizing up. And that's what formed U.S. Cosa Nostra. And the U.S. government figured out, hey, look, man, we know how to use you guys. We need you for special projects. But at least we were organized, man. And we spoke this language. And we went to church. We didn't bring our own religion and go, hey, by the way, this is the Church of Italy. And we have some really freaky things that we believe in. I'm not saying people have whatever right they have to believe in. I know we're a little bit off topic, but I get all ranty on this because the only thing that hurts my investment thesis, Sam, is these lunatics. Like I'm sitting here going, wow, this is so cool. Okay. I have been for not 4 years, but for a good year and a half. Well, for 4 years, I've been telling everyone what I was going to do in crypto. Like I knew what I was going to do. And this is actually now happening. I remember sitting on a couch maybe a year and a half ago saying, literally buying Bitcoin, ending a show like this and going buy $3 or $4 million worth of Bitcoin at 34,000 because I'm literally talking to myself in a camera. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, dude? Like, y'all don't know this, but every debate that I have a conversation with, I'm literally wanting someone to tell me I'm wrong. And no one ever does. I'm like, damn, this plan. And now the plan's coming together, man. A year and a half, literally a year and a half, putting large sums of money into a play, putting large sums of education time, reading, arguing, debating with people. And then you see the plan come together. You're like, whoa, man, this thing's just rolling out like clockwork. It is more satisfying than sex. Really, because it lasts. It's like, okay, look, I actually did something right here, right in between my brain, right? I actually could build out a strategy. And literally, I have another deal that I've been worrying about. And it's just another transaction I got. And I was going through this whole thing last night. And I'm like, you know what? That transaction's outstanding. But I had to go through all this other, the time period when both these plays are playing out, they're just different. I know I went off and ranted a little bit, but see, it's and now I'm going to be ranting on, okay, what's the exit look like here? When do you peel off Solana trade? I'm in Solana at 125. I know people that are in Solana at $8, man. Now 125 is starting to look, oh wow, it's 160 or so. It's been to 200. And if Bitcoin rolls, I think Solana is going to probably, do very well. Again, it's not the massive position for me. And you guys can make, Gary's a criminal. He's in Solana, whatever. I have the right to do what I want with my fucking money. The cool thing about me is if I lose, I'll tell you. Okay. I'm not, and I'm literally telling you what my my cost is. I think people would do very well. Stop asking people how long they've been in Bitcoin. Ask them how much money do you have deployed? And when did you get really serious? Because putting $12 and reading the white paper is not anything I'm interested in. I could fucking care less. But if you told me, hey, man, I've been around for 12 years and I started buying at 30, and then I paid 300, and then I paid 3,000, and then I paid 30,000 gladly, and I kept buying more and more. I love that story. If you bought 300 or 30 and you stopped, I really want to talk to you. I will only need to talk to you once, though, because something's wrong with your thesis. Like you're looking at a very different asset class than I am. And that's why I love having these conversations, because I'm like, bro, what are you missing, man? Don't make it about Gary. Michael Saylor's buying this shit. He could care less what the price is. Right. And you're sitting there going, I'm going to stop at 3,000. And you're 40. Don't tell me you couldn't have made money in the last 5 years. I mean, what were you doing? The guys that got busted were the guys that took their profits from Bitcoin and then went and built a company with it. And now they're like, I'm still building the company. Can't exit the company. There's no liquidity in the company. Don't really know what the value is in the company. It's got a headache. And you got to file all these reports. So anyway, I think it's people should be looking at their own. If you're in this trade and you've made some money, I mean, I'm listening to people that do the returns. Some of these people are talking about are stupid, and it will be this right here that gets them. You remember what I said? I said, listen, the reason I don't invest in Ethereum is because I've never seen a 32-year-old billionaire who is the very top of the food chain that did not impact him negatively. I'm not in it, like, because your mind goes stupid when you start winning and having real success. Your brain will trick you. So if you're winning, this is the message. I think.
Oh, you got muted. Hey, Gary, I muted you for some reason. Why did I mute you? There we go.
You hear me now?
You're good. Yep.
Yeah. What I was saying was that if you're winning, make sure that you're just putting your ego in check. That you're just thinking about, hey, look, could I be getting carried away with my own story too much here? It has happened to me before. I've stayed in these trades too long before. I'm not saying it is too late. The time to start thinking about it is right now.
Yeah. I had going back to silver and gold, I actually had a kind of a question. I just think the comparison between your silver investment and your wolf investment is really interesting, because you've been in silver for a really long time. And I mean, by really, I mean, over 5 years, right? Whereas wolf has been, I think, less than 6 months, right?
Yeah, I've been in silver since 16, 8 years.
So
I've been in wolf for 4 months, man.
And wolf is a far better investment when it comes to time horizon.
Yeah. Most certainly. Yeah, most certainly. And if I would have gone back even further, it would still be a greater investment. But it didn't hold the purpose that I bought. I would never have bought a miner for the same reason I was buying silver back in 2016. See, when I was buying silver and gold in 16, it's because the Bitcoin people didn't sell this to me correct. I would have just bought all the Bitcoin. Had they sold this to me correctly, had people who were so well educated on this industry actually stopped to listen to the client, me, they wouldn't have sold me the way they sold me. They would have listened to me and they'd been like, hey, let me show you, because this is what I was saying back then. Hey, what if power goes out? Now you know why I bought silver and gold?
Yeah.
Because Power going out didn't bother me. Someone should have looked at me and said, bro, you won't even be able to make a phone call to sell the silver. And by the way, the amount of silver and gold you have, Gary, like everyone's got to come to your house to get it. Dude. I mean, you're the one that put that shit in the trunk and you didn't even touch the gold. The gold was far more like it. I had.
When did you get rid of the gold?
I had 4 times that amount of gold, bro.
Wow.
In dollars. Okay. Oh. So, I gave the gold away at, maybe 2000 or 1950 or 2100. I can't remember, when Bitcoin was at 30,000. See,
and did you put that gold into Bitcoin?
Oh, within seconds, just like I did the house, dude. Now I bought when I sold the house. See, the house was sold after the gold. When I sold the house, I think I picked up $66,000 Bitcoin. Bought it all in one day. I love my $66,000 Bitcoin. You guys can go, well, you could have bought it for 59. Yeah, I could have, married that good-looking fucking Asian chick I met in Italy once too, but I didn't. I mean, if I'm constantly worried about the fucking trade I didn't do, I'm not really a very happy human being. I'm always looking over my back going, oh gosh. I mean, my twin brother, dude, he left $15-20 million on the table. If he would have bought it 59, like I told him, or anything, just, dude, set the number. Remember he was in the space one day going, well, Gary, I want to buy 1,500 Bitcoin. I'm going to move the market. I'm like, 10 hours. You can literally buy 1,500 Bitcoin in 10 hours. You're done, dude. You won't move anything. Yeah. $50 billion a day. $2 billion traded. One guy bought $2 billion in one day. Okay. And the market it was last week, dude. The market did not move. Thursday, I mean, it moved up $1 or whatever, but yeah, so you can't really judge these trades against each other. When I bought Bitcoin, miners weren't around, and it was not. Look, this mining play on Wolf, I bought 4 of these companies. I liked Wolf because of the part of their complex, the way they control their energy. I like that. I bought Iron, which I like their cost base. Cypher, Cypher, and then CleanSpark. I like CleanSpark's management. I bought CleanSpark prior to meeting their management. Most people, I think that I do these interviews and then go buy stock. I do not do that, and I do not Sam knows. I have invited all the miners to come on the show. I'm not picking and choosing who I interview just because I have an investment in them. And I'm most certainly not having them pump the stock, because I'm like, I want to know, guys, I want to know what your business looks like. I love meeting a public company that's able to come on a space or a show and talk about their position. And CleanSpark came on a day after Tennessee got wiped out, and he lost 2 exahash, dude. Hey, we're going to get it back up, man. And guess what? They got it back up in Tennessee. That's impressive. So yeah, I wouldn't really, to me, I wouldn't look at these as, oh, that was a better trade. I couldn't have done these trades back then. Now I don't see any reason to hold on to gold or silver here. And the reason is because I can buy Bitcoin, man. It's hard if you go look at silver again, and you ask yourself, hey, well, why is that happening? If you think silver, is this silver? No, this is Wolf. If you think silver's a good play, I mean, I gotta believe Bitcoin's a good play, dude. What if you like silver and gold? Why isn't Bitcoin the winner? Because if I'm right, and these other markets are going to have to put something other than US dollars on their. Why wouldn't they put Bitcoin, dude? It's a commodity that can't really be managed easily. Managed from the standpoint of managing the price. It doesn't have a lot of derivative. I mean, silver probably has 200 ounces of paper silver for every physical silver, man. Piece of physical silver. 200. That's a lot of hypothecation, making the supply look like it's available, but in reality, it's paper. And that's going to happen in the ETFs also. So they serve their purpose, right? And I'm 8 to 10 years older than I was. I'm in a different position. I'm in a different liquidity position than I was when I bought all that. When I bought all that silver and gold, I was married and I had 99% of my equity tied in a private company. So it, you can't really judge some of these things. Now, I think you can judge people buying homes 8, 10, 11 years ago and being confused as to why they were buying those homes. They are not investments. Gold, silver, Wolf, Clean Spark, gold, silver, oil, those are investments, okay? A house is a house. If it's not generating income, it's not an investment, okay? If it's not generating hedge growth for me against other currencies, it's not an investment. And this is how I don't live in my Bitcoin. I don't take a shower in my Bitcoin. Okay. I take a shower in my house. Hopefully I have sex in my house. I get a massage in my house. I work from my home, which is cool. But it's it's just, I could easily do this in a rental facility. I had a date Saturday, and this woman, really awesome human being. She's like, she's 42-ish, and she's like, hey, I'm going to put all my equipment in a Pelican bag, and I'm going to travel the world for the next 3 years and do my business from where I want to do my business from. And she spent 3 weeks in Japan, then went 3 weeks in Kyoto, and she came back. This was after going to Singapore for tokens, something. And this is Mona. And I'm like, Mona, you should most certainly do this, okay? Because nothing's holding you back. That would be an awesome life, dude. In fact, I actually put it on steroids for her. I was like, shit, let's go get a yacht, dude, and then put it on camera. You could literally make money out of that, right? If she did something like, not super high end, but if you did something high end, people would follow the shit out of it, dude. A digital nomadic lifestyle, and she will make a shitload of money, build more content than she has currently. She'll build more content in 2 years, and she will meet some of the most awesome people. Now that's an investment, dude. That's a better investment than Bitcoin. I think she was surprised that I told her, dude, I would absolutely do that and do it now, because at 42, she will enjoy it today. Why would you wait till you're 65 to go travel the world? Your knees are going to be hurting, man. Right? You're not going to have the same energy, or the same opportunities. So to me, it's and then to be able to live a life on crypto, and because we were talking about the difficulty with money in Japan and traveling all over the place, and I was like, dude, that's gone. All those problems are gone with crypto. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. You literally could keep crypto in a couple of exchanges or on a wallet and just roll, and literally not have to get so engaged in the system. You're going to use a credit card, or you're going to use a digital asset, and just, and just travel the absolute world. I could see having a business. I mean, Anthony Bourdain did that, and I thought that was very good TV, right? I learned some stuff. So anyway, I think we're going to see more of this. So I think, as you see it, you're also going to start to see people move around in ways that they hadn't moved before. Now imagine that she owned a home. You know what she told me? She said, I should never have come back. I should have just kept going, because as soon as she comes back, all the little comforts of home started. Nice dinner. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
Her buddies are here. And most certainly she would not, like, a move like that. Your friends need to go. You need to do that, man. Go tomorrow. Like, go ASAP. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? She gets lonely and comes back in a year. Big deal, man. See, this is the kind of stuff, to me, that is a much better decision than the Bitcoin decision. Is, whoa, that is a life-altering experience, and she will never make a better return on her investment than that. No chance, dude. Because it'll be for a lifetime, right? So that's really exciting. I mean, imagine, like, we would not have had this conversation even 15 years ago. Not really, right?
Yeah.
So we're way off markets.
Well, I got a question that's lingering in the back of my mind for you. Is I just wanted to know, when you were sitting down and thinking of your exit strategy, like, what was running through your head? Like, do you sit down and do you go, okay, so I bought X at this price. When do I hit an 100% return? And is that when I want to sell? Or do you look and go, okay, I want to be in this for, I think, a year to 2 years, and then I'll sell no matter what? Like, what are some of the questions that are going through your mind? Because I still have not really sat down and had that conversation with myself, and I feel like I don't even know what to ask.
Well, I think in your situation, you're probably better off asking someone like me, or someone like me that doesn't really have an agenda for you. For you at your age, dude, I just keep adding and don't even think about it. And I think you're going to wake up. You're going to wake up in 10 years and go, well, why would I dump this position? Yeah, I think you'll hold this position for a very long time, because in 10 years, you're going to be able to do things with this position that you can't do today. Like, for instance, if I could borrow against all the Bitcoin I have right now, dude, like, the whole world changes. I mean, some of the stuff I'm into, everything changes. There's meetings I don't even go to. Like, I don't travel on a plane to go see, about marketing, and I just, it just gets handled.
Yeah.
I don't need investors in my deals, right? What I need is money. And so, I mean, I like having investors with good minds, but the way I run the business, I know it's going to be just fine. I'm not going to follow. I just got off the phone with a competitor, man. And, like, it just validates why none of these guys knew what they were doing when they launched. And now everybody's looking around going, hey, wow, there's just, what's happening? And they have like 13 shareholders, and they get, board meetings, and people are saying, hey, what's happening? Let's roll. And it's hard to admit, hey, we need to retool. Our side of the market isn't going to evolve as fast as we thought it was. Cardone's strategy, their business is going to explode, and we're going to kind of be sitting there holding our hands for a while. So now back to me. The first things I'll make sure that are clean are the off Bitcoin trades, meaning anything that's attached, well, not attached, but anything that's not Bitcoin, I will look at managing that risk first. I'll get out of Wolf before I get out of a Solana, and I will be out of both of these trades, both Solana and all the miners, I would say inside of 9 months. Bitcoin, on the other hand, I'd like to see my Bitcoin position about twice as large as it is today in 2 years. That'd be awesome. Year and a half, if I could get it. And the Bitcoin miners and Solana will most likely just roll right into owning more Bitcoin. You still there?
Yeah. So, well, one thing you said that I noticed is you kind of rank what you want to get out of first. So
Yeah,
you
of
rank
course.
so you're before you're even looking at like a return, you just know, okay, so this basket is what has to go first because it's just what you are short term, and that's why.
Yeah, the time horizon for the miners and Solana were very different. See, that's what I love about Bitcoin. Now, I'm older than you are, but for you, dude, like time is going to be your friend on this trade. Whereas, these old people, time is not on their side. They don't get the compounding value. They don't get I was a little early in the Bitcoin 4 years ago. I could have waited. I could have waited on the sidelines and learned. The problem is I don't learn that way. I learn when I have money on the table. And it's the only way I learned. Okay. Like you've seen me hardly ever sit at a dinner table and listen to anything if I had nothing to do with it. I'm gone. I don't bring any value there. I might as well just no, dude, I don't know anything about it. I just don't bring any value. So why would I get involved with it? So at my age, I look at it and go, you got to remember, I'm going to give this stuff to my kids probably if they continue to behave themselves. Well, if they don't, dude, I don't have to give this shit to them. If they misbehave, most certainly I won't give it to them. I need to know that they're going to be able to, deal with it. But, I have to also tell someone, hey, look, this is what I want you to do if I ain't here. I mean, I have a stroke tomorrow morning. Who's going to fucking make that decision, dude? So you got to start thinking. You don't have that problem. You should probably start thinking about it, but it's very early for you. So I'll think about now look at Wolf. Okay. Wolf moved $1 today, 20 or 30%. I'm not interested. Like I thought about changing that portfolio last week. And I went, one or two of these is going to get bought. So it's just a particular part of the industry right now that I've been able to stick my beak into. I wouldn't encourage other people to do that. Okay. There's no reason for you to go chase this. Okay. This is a small position for me. Relative to the whole book, it's a small piece, and I've learned a lot. And I expect to make far more than I will make on Bitcoin. I mean, like 3 to 6x. If I'm not going to make 3 to 6x on what I would have made on Bitcoin, I shouldn't be in it because it's too risky, dude. Like it's not worth it, right? The Bitcoin play is such a cool play, and I'll tell you something. The Bitcoin the miners were not the thing to buy. I should have bought MicroStrategy instead. For sure. It was a mistake. Okay. Now, miners can go, it wasn't a mistake. MicroStrategy is not going to outperform it from here. That's not what I said. If I would have bought MicroStrategy 6 months ago, I'd have been far better off. Okay. So in a lot of ways. Now, the problem is, would I put that much money into one stock? No, probably not. I bought 4, right? And knowing that maybe one of them goes wrong, maybe 2 of them go wrong. So This is why I really don't understand guys that buy these tokens that have no business models that they can explain to me. Because like MicroStrategy is a super token that's not going to get rugged, man. Like I know who's running that program. I know what the VCs are in. I know Sailor's long-term and short-term interest, I think. And if you want alpha, I mean, to me, that's just like, wow, that's safe alpha. And people are saying to me, I mean, people wanted to make a $10,000 bet last night that the miners would outperform MicroStrategy from here, but they didn't want to pick one. They wanted to pick a basket. I'm like, well, you got to pick one. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know the miners make an oil company look like they're no risk, because effectively the miners have not only added a complexity of not enough capital ever. They will never have enough capital. Miners will never, ever have enough capital until they're sovereigns. They don't own their own shit, meaning their own equipment, their own land, and their own wires. They have to go buy equipment from someone in another country usually. There'll be a race for equipment, which is what we're seeing. So they have capital issues. They have no property really. They got to find their sites. Oil company doesn't have to find a site. They got 1 million sites. A sovereign doesn't have to find a site, dude. They have 1 million sites. Okay. An oil company does not have to go out and resource its energy and pay 3 to 8 cents. Oh, what happens when it gets interrupted? Well, that's a miner's problem, but it's not an oil company's problem. And they have all the capital they could access at 3% money, dude. Maybe 2%. Hell, maybe 0.5% because they just issue some stock or they issue some. Oh, also, they don't even need the accounting treatment issues because ExxonMobil holds commodities in its basket every day, all day, forever. And their shareholders are okay with that commodity exposure. So they're literally turning energy, probably energy they can't even sell today, into Bitcoin, where they can store it for the first time ever in their life, dude. They can store electricity, natural gas, in a way that ensures them that at least the underlying value isn't corroded because it's against the US dollar. And this is why everybody keeps talking about inflation. And I'm saying, hey, you can say crude oil is going to be worth $150 one day, but it's only because you printed 100% of the money. Because there's no reason for crude oil ever. It doesn't need to be at $150, dude. It'll destroy the economy if it's at $150. In fact, it'll massively destroy demand. We're going to be in a $60, $70, $80 market forever. I mean, forever. By the time I'm dead, we'll be there. So yeah, that's the way I think of it. But you know what it really gets me thinking about is not miners. See, this exercise I did last night, it's not the miners. It's, hey, I've got $20 million in treasury notes. How the hell do I get out of those things? Get me the fuck out of these treasury notes, okay? I've got a house that's worth somewhere between 12 and 15, 16 million dollars. Why the hell am I here? Okay. That is a shitload of Bitcoin. Now this house is going up 30 or 40%, not nearly as good as the miner did yesterday. These are life altering. This is a life altering opportunity here. I'm telling you, this 10 years, dude, 10 years of, I don't care about the Fed, what the Fed does or doesn't do. As long as we don't have a nuclear war across this planet and burn the fucking planet, there's 10 to 20 years of businesses to build. And for Bitcoin to go from being $1 trillion valuation to constantly just moving up. Let's say gold just keeps going up from 18 trillion now to 20. We're just going to, what more data do you need? I'm not saying that gold has to get smaller. I didn't say silver has to get smaller. The equities market, bonds, pensions, None of it gets smaller, dude. Bitcoin can still grow without taking anything from anywhere. In order for coal to grow, it has to take from someone. In order for oil to grow, it has to take from coal. In order for wind to grow, guess what it's got to take from? Fossil fuel. Wind grows, oil grows, nat gas grows, Bitcoin grows. Like, I don't know why you guys are making this so difficult. Okay? I can print and make millions and millions of homes forever. Forever, man. Technology is going to let me make one out of a box here pretty soon. At the right price, I can build anything I want. But I can't build more Bitcoin. I can buy all the mining facilities I want on the planet. I cannot mine more Bitcoin. I could literally offer all the energy in the world for free. I can't mine more Bitcoin. That is staggering, man. Okay. And it gets back to no one has ever seen finite before. No one, man. I mean, look, they're talking about building micro and macro nukes here. Like, what do you? I'm arguing with these guys this morning on this big finance thing. They're like, crude oil is going to go up, and they're building nuclear. I'm like, these two things don't happen together, dude. You don't build nuclear and crude oil keeps going up. These are 2,000 megawatt plants, man, that do this. Baseload, dude. And guess who? Guess who gets pushed aside, bro? Not wind and solar do not get pushed aside. It's natural gas, and no one's using oil to make electricity. They use oil to make your soap and to make all the stuff in your Tesla that you think is electric. 80% of the car is petroleum. You know, I wouldn't like you look at some of these and like, ooh, would I buy NVIDIA or would I buy Tesla right now? I don't think Bitcoin's even started its little journey.
Now, when compared to those investments, and in my opinion, like with Tesla, for example, I'm not worried about what's going to happen to Elon. You know, I'm not worried about manufacturing, supply chain, whatever.
Now, if I had an investment with Tesla, I do not invest in Tesla, but if I had one, I would be terrified of him dying, because he is a one-man fucking running machine, dude. Like if I hate the way America's going, I kill Donald Trump and Elon Musk. In fact, I might just be able to take Elon out. And that'd be enough for me. So see, I compare Bitcoin and Tesla. I'm like, whoa, dude, I'm taking Bitcoin all day long. No risk, dude, of anything. Okay. The Chinese do not have to say yes to him. Okay. I don't care what the Chinese, I hope the Chinese say no to Bitcoin. You see the difference? Like, there's no draconian behavior that can impact me negatively around Bitcoin. Whereas Tesla, my goodness, man. Okay. Shit, I don't even think Donald likes all the EV cars. He's just tolerating them. As long as he's alive, Tesla is going to be a great company.
As long as he's alive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look what they're trying to do to him. Okay. They find him very threatening right now. So when I look at these investments and people talk to me about risk, I'm like, I don't think anyone really considers risk properly. Not really. I think it would have been extremely risky for me not to start putting my nose in with the Node 40 investment. Like, my investment in crypto now is just about, I don't even know who has a higher allocation. Because now I'm like, oh, by the way, I had to consider the Node 40 too. Like, that's in there too. People forget about that. Oh, that's a pure digital play, dude. Like, what's that worth? Now, would that have been worth, again, I would not have done that much in mining. Anyway, the point I was trying to make was that when I first, started coming into this industry, that's why I don't like the question, hey, when did you come in? Oh, I came in 2016. I bought 2 Bitcoin for $8,000. Okay, big deal. Then I read the white paper, and then I started studying. Then I put it down for a little while. Then I watched my silver and gold investments move, and I'm like, that wasn't very impressive. And then I got some freedom, and I started doing more and more research into Bitcoin. I'm not a guy that's just going to go plow $40-50 million in the industry without studying it, and I don't do it all at one time. And then I studied it, and the more I studied it, the more I got convicted in my thesis. And that conviction led to me doing something, which is what you're doing. You're like, okay, here's $10,000, dude. I want to buy $10,000. I want to buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. Okay. That's conviction. This is what I find really bizarre by someone who can speak so eloquently on Bitcoin in every little detail. And then you realize they have 1/10 of a Bitcoin and they've been in the space 12 years. Now, I don't get that. Okay. Like, you should be walking around with your nuts hitting the ground, dude. Like, you should have to have your knees bow-legged and women looking at you going, oh, look at that mofo walk. You should look like an old cowboy, right? If you've been in this space 12 years, come on, man. You should be rolling like not walking around like a little gimp, but like really stouting it out. Somebody I was in, where was I last week? Whatever city I was in. And a guy walks up to me. He's probably a little younger than me, probably a lot richer. And he's like, dude, you just got too much cool going on. I'm like, huh? He's like, bro, you just look so chilled. Like, you bring chill to, like, because I'm in there with 150 people or something. I don't know anybody. I don't feel all chilled out. I'm sitting there going, man, I'd like to get out of this room. And he's like, bro, you're just too cool. I'm like, it's because I own a shitload of Bitcoin,
man. Perfect answer.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, it's the only thing, because I was a little embarrassed by it, because I thought he was like, because I don't want anybody to think I'm being arrogant, because I'm not. I don't feel super cool. But when he said that, I was like, yeah, it's the Bitcoin, dude. It gives everybody more confidence. Well, let's go through some of these comments. Yeah. Can we go through? Because I love the comments, and we've just been yakking here. I can't think of a single reason you would ever say. Though there's millions of reasons why I would sell Bitcoin.
You could die.
Quite honestly, I'll tell you, I'm not one of these people that will hold Bitcoin forever. Okay, at a certain level, even if I'm still here, I intend to help the world, dude. I'm not interested in holding on to all this and buying another yacht, or I don't own a yacht. I never will own a yacht. Hate boats. The only reason for me to buy a bunch of fancy shit would be taxes. Yeah, I'm not going to go to my grave with Bitcoin. I don't think that helps anyone. Let's see what else we got. Hermit, 900 drones cost $30 million. Yeah, okay. Tim Draper. I think I'm going to meet Tim here in about a couple of weeks. I'm going to November the 7th, I think, Sam. I'm going to a token event in Miami that Draper's putting on.
Oh.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm also not available on the 4th. I'm in a deposition.
Got it.
Let's see. UN. What's going on in Israel? And I'm so disgusted with listening to anything about Israel anymore. I'm just like over it. Wish we'd sort out what the 1.5 or 2% of the entire world's population needs to make them happy, and let's stop bombing people. And whatever the other side's doing, please just stop it, man. Knock it off, dude. We don't need any more. It's not solving shit. Yeah, see, all this stuff's coming out, dude. All this technology starting to show up. Some of the comments. Well, let's see. Marriage comment. Well, Gary, marriage and birth certificates are printed on bond paper. Okay. All right. Vince Grant, you're awesome, buddy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the love. I will only do swing trades and tax advantage accounts. I mean, I met a guy the other night, dude. He's swinging monster volume in a 401k. This is a mistake. This is a mistake I made. As a young man, I never paid any attention to my 401k. I have $70,000 in a 401k, dude.
And
Nothing.
then you should have put more in?
Oh, bro, most people would, at my age, millions. But I sold my 401k in 2008 to build that other business. See, people don't know this story. Like, my conviction when I'm in, dude, I am so in, it's stupid. But literally dumped 100% of my 25-year-old 401k, which really was not that heavy, because for 10 years I was in England and didn't even participate in it. And never even thought, didn't care. And I still don't care about it. For me, it was the opportunity in England was so awesome. If it didn't include my 401k, who cares? Right? Like, I would never do. Why would someone go to work every day for their 401k, man, that you might not ever see? I've never understood that. So in retrospect, it was a mistake, because I see other guys with shitloads of money in their 401k and it's tax efficient. And that's cool, but I wasn't going to go to work for a 401k or worry too much about it. But I dumped that mother. It took me 2 minutes to dump it. I took a 20% discount. I was telling people, Grant and I was on a show, I don't know, months ago. I said, dude, I would refinance my home or take the loss on a 401k. If I was in a 401k and I didn't like the manager, I'd dump it and take the loss and move it into Bitcoin. I'll make up every dollar, dude. Like, I got to stay in that thing for a long time. If you start thinking about that 20, 30 years, tax free, I'm going to pay 35, 40% taxes, man. Right. So now I've got to, and that's one of the things you start thinking about. Hey, on the exit, how do I manage that exit? You don't want to manage that exit on another profit. You want to marriage that exit right next to a loss. Okay, so you don't have to have an event. You got to start getting clever. I mean, the cool thing is these regulators write so many rules. Every time you write a rule and tweak it, put a little gray in there, there's a lawyer out there that can exercise that gray. So you're right, and I would say your obligation is to figure out the tax code and do it legally. And like, legally, there are so many ways to save money from paying taxes. It's simply about you going to find a professional that knows all the little loopholes. And by the way, I would really be okay with a flat tax and just take away all the bullshit. But you're not going to do that because you guys want to employ unnecessary bodies. But flat tax, that works. Move on down the road. You get rid of half the IRS agents. You get rid of half the government costs. This country is so poorly run. I mean, it's just stacked stupidity on top of stupidity on top of stupidity. And I heard Vivek say this one day, and I never really ever gave it any thought, but we have regulatory bodies. I think we have 483 different divisions in the USA now that are regulatory operations. We don't have a division that says, hey, those regulations that we deployed in 1942, is it time to like debank them? Like de-inventory? Let's go through the inventory, at least in an operating fucking system. Can you imagine, dude, having a software system since 1930 and you haven't updated it? That's the state of our fucking world right now. No updates, dude. Just clogged up with shit, man. Clogged up, and you wonder why it's moving slow, right? Or moving
Yeah.
grossly dysfunctionally. There's no operating system that ever gets cleaned up. We're not erasing any of the memory out of it, man. What does a 1940 code have to do with anything? Like, just go in there and go, hey, we have 484 regulations. We're going to get rid of 400 of them. Just get rid of 400 of them. Just change. Okay. The Pentagon was built in 10 months. It took 8 years to build dams and bridges, dude. Okay. And we're so far behind now. We're building dams and bridges that I could fix this country so quickly, man. Like, just produce a lot of money and let's rebuild it from scratch. Like all this shit. Like, we look at Milton and Helena, what it did to this area. You introduced me to one of the local buddies one day, and I was like, oh man, you're in the Don Caesar. You're going to knock that building down, right? He was like offended, right? Like, oh, I do historical stuff. I'm like, bro, that building needs to get knocked down, and let's build in the 21st century. Like, you could build this perfectly if you just put the money into it. And I hope Trump does that. We have no need to be in any of these wars. We could literally launch $50 trillion bond and let's build everything. I mean, just make everything really, you basically do what Dubai's done. You rebuild and you start over. And 150 years from now, we'll be addressing it once again. But at least you'd start building for the future, right? I mean, we were building back in when we still had horses, right? Now you have vehicles, and you'll be thinking, oh, wow, automation. Oh, we don't need wires above the ground. We don't need telephone poles anymore. You don't need concrete going up in the air. Then you open the door for helicopters. Oh, dude, you get all that shit off anyway, you build for the future. And every major country has this issue. London can't rebuild these. Europe can't rebuild easily. I mean, if you've been around, you can't everyone's going to have to pay the maker. It's going to be an exciting 40, 50 years. I think it's more exciting than it is scary, assuming we don't destroy ourselves as a human species. Has any of these commodities or things done? Oh, well, wolf's continuing to move. They're at 610. That's a move, dude. In one day, that is a move. In 4 hours, it's moved from 507 to 610, $1. Pretty impressive. I don't get impressed very easily either. 60 and Bitcoin's down. Bitcoin's down 2.3%. I'll just go through these numbers and then we can close up. Tesla's down 1.7. Gold's up 0.15. Silver is up 33.86, up half a percentage point. It's been up as high as 34.10, I think. Ethereum's down 2.6. Nvidia's up 2.3. The only miner working is Cypher. Oh, Cypher's up 4.3%. See, I think I could see Cypher, Wolf merging. I could see one of these companies buying Wolf or vice versa. I suspect Wolf's in play. Clean Spark's down a little bit, 2.5%. And MicroStrategy's up against Bitcoin's down. And XRP, I don't know why you guys think I'm an XRP holder. I mentioned XRP, dude. The amount of attention, I don't really understand it. I love all you guys. I am not an XRP owner. I hope you guys get filthy rich. The chart looks like shit. And that's all I can tell you, okay? I don't mean to. I like Charles Hoskinson's at Cardone. The chart looks like shit. And I'm just like, I'm not here to talk y'all's market up. I'm just looking at the chart going, it doesn't look too good. And many of these old coins are not behaving well.
Where'd you go, Gary? Did he just Gary, are you back?
Sorry,
There you go.
sorry, I
Cool.
hit the wrong button. What I was going to say was that it's, you know, on the Cardanos of the world, it just seems like there's a whole rotation. What you laughing about?
Just Aiden went LOL.
Hey, maybe some of them run, okay. But Fiboswami. Anyway, I'm in the Bitcoin. I like the miners right here. We'll see how they do. We have, how many days do we have on the political front, Sam? And is there anything going on? I know that Trump's speaking Sunday. My brother's speaking there. You and I are looking at whether we're going to go or not. Is there anything happening this week that the market should know about or pay attention to?
Not that I know of, unless there's, we got 2 weeks now, right? So today is officially like 14 days. So it's just going to be
You and I are going to vote tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
He's going to take me to vote. Now, see, this is what Sam did. Sam said, hey, what did you ask me today? Like, I've never done what you asked me to do.
Well, so there's all kinds of things on the ballot, from amendments to county commission, city council. So I just asked if you knew what all you're actually going to be voting for. And so I actually have a list of all those issues.
See, how many of you guys have ever done homework before you went and voted? I have never done that. And, the first time he said that, I was like, oh, I ain't doing that, dude. And then the more I think about it, I'm like, it's actually sinful that I have never been offered the opportunity to actually study what I'm going to vote for. This is such a scam, man. I'm 66 years old. No one, including not one teacher, has ever gone through this process and said, hey, this is how you study for these people. All I get is my phone blowing up with, hey, help me, help me, help me, help me. I'm a politician. I'm just delete, delete, delete. I hope you didn't pay for this, dude. Delete, delete. Like, they paid for this shit? What a waste of money, man. But if somebody would have educated me and said, look, you got to get prepped, dude. Because I go in there and go, I don't know any of these people. I get frustrated. I don't know these people. I don't even know what this job means. Because they have weird titles, man. I do like Elon's title though. Director of DOG. He is a clever little fuck, huh?
Yeah.
He is you're a clever fuck there, Elon. I like you, dude. You're awesome. And I love the amount of babies how many kids he's got now? 11?
Dude, yeah, like 9 at least.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think he does? You think he goes to these chicks and says, here's $1 million, dude. I like your chains. Let's roll.
That, and I think a lot of them go to him and say, hey, I like your jeans. Will you get me pregnant? And he goes, yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. No, I bet they do.
But he's very choosy. That's for sure.
I could see that being a fair exchange, man. I think that's a healthy.
I don't think either party in those relationships seems to mind it.
I think if people approach relationships that way, it would make relationships work better for longer periods of time. For sure, dude. I know a lot of people are starting to go, you know what? Maybe this is just not, maybe we're friends. Friends might be the easier way to handle all this instead of all the obligations. Well, listen, I'm excited about this whole week. I think this week's going to be explosive. In fact, it is these kind of weeks when I make a shitload of money that I have to be really careful not to drop my habits. And one of the habits that is awesome is that we're all going to say and do something nice for someone without having to advertise it. It's our little secret that we do in this club. Okay. We got 2,700 people in here. If 2,700 people do something really nice, I mean, you got to go out of your way. Like, maybe leave that extra tip. Maybe if you've been a little funky with tips for the last 2 years because you've been down and out, maybe you need, hey, I need to amp this up and give this lady $100 because she looks like she could use it. Dude, if you can't give $100 to somebody at some part in your life and you're without worrying about it, you need to amp your game up. Come on, man. Okay, come on. Like, you can come work. I have $800 worth of shit that I'll pay somebody $750 today to go get it. Like, it's just a bunch of trash, man. But I don't need. I can wait for the city, but I'd pay somebody $750 to remove it today. So don't tell me that there aren't jobs out there. You go to a rich neighborhood, you see a storm, and you go, "Ma'am, I'd like to help you." Like, if somebody came here right now and said, "You know how dirty our windows are? $500, dude. I'll spray. I'll pay him." The gate guy, I'll pay you too, dude. How many things are like somebody could make a fortune in this yard, and then just look at the whole block, dude. Right? And I'm not talking about just every storm. There's every week you can just come here and make a living. So don't tell me you can't make $100, $10,000 or $100,000. Let's roll. Let's make some fucking money together. Let's get rich and buy some Bitcoin and then get even richer. And then we can help the world. Who's going to get rich with us? Sam?
Absolutely.
Sam, you know what? For you, I want you to get so sick rich that your ego just responds to it so negatively, and we're gonna have to send you away to therapy or something because you go so mentally crazy that you're so rich. Would that be a nice problem to have to solve?
Yes, that sounds like a great problem to have.
Yeah, you stick with me, son. All right, guys, y'all have a great day, and we'll see you on Spaces tonight around 5 o'clock.
That's right. See you, everybody.